Hey everyone, welcome to the C&J Art, Adventure, and Family channel. So this is a bit of a life update, life vlog, I guess. I have been home for about a week, and yesterday I went to see my surgeon so he could see how I was healing and all that. And I am doing really well, he said. The area where the surgery was done and the stitches look buenísimo, is what he said. And he also told me that I had to walk 20 to 30 blocks a day. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of walking for a lazy person. I was like, what? But he said, you have to do it, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I walked from his doctor's office at Uriburu and Santa Fe, all the way down to Plaza del Congreso, and then further down to Avenida San Juan. So I think that was about 20 blocks. And along the way, I looked at a lot of architecture, of course, and some street art. I did a bit of window shopping, some grocery shopping, some stuff to make Asian noodles that I've been wanting to get, like oyster sauce and fish sauce. And that is not easy to find here in Buenos Aires. So when I found it in this Asian supermarket, I had to get it. I also wanted to get tamarind paste, but it was like 9,000 a jar, so that'll have to wait. But anyway, I also went to the bookstore Edelvives, which I will show in a bit, and I went to Starbucks. Of course, I treated myself to a very expensive 9,000 peso frappuccino with coconut milk, and I felt good and bad while I was ordering it, but I'm like, how often do I get Starbucks these days? Not often at all. Like, I think the last time I had Starbucks was in the States. So yeah, I think a Starbucks treat every now and then is not a bad thing. So I'm in Starbucks right now waiting for my drink, and I was just thinking about what I was wearing today, because my shirt is a Wicked shirt, and my bag is from Disneyland. My sweater is from Universal Studios. And of course have my Minnie Mouse bag. So I don't know whether to be happy or embarrassed about this. And I had no idea that this bookstore, Edelvives, was here on Avenida Cachao. I've seen them every time I've gone to the Feria del Libro, and they are always my favorite stand. And so I was really happy to find their bookstore. And of course I couldn't really get anything at this time. I think I save all my book buying for the Feria del Libro once a year. And then I spend way too much money, even though I did find more than one book that I really wanted to get, especially this one by Chris Riddle. It's this one drawing a day book, and it just looks so fun, like a really fun way to get you to draw every day. So I have my eye on that. When I have extra money, I'm going to get it. And then afterwards, I went to Plaza del Congreso, of course. I love this area just because of how beautiful it is, the architecture, of course, and there's always something happening, so it's always an interesting spot to drop by. And the last time I went here was with my friend Andy, and we had gone there specifically to see if the Marcha de los Jubilados was taking place, and we were there too early. And so I wanted to go back this time to see if I would see anything this time. And I did, of course. And it wasn't that big of a protest from what I've seen on television. It was a very small group. I don't know how big it usually is, but it looked like there was as many or maybe even more police there to control them as there were protesters. So it was a very strange visual. All these elderly people, these people from the working classes who are really struggling at this time. Yeah, it was just a really interesting visual. And I should add that as someone who is from the States, I never meant to settle here permanently. Like, Argentina was always meant to be like my first stop among many, because once I decided to leave the US, I thought, what is to stop me from just going around the world as a digital nomad wherever I wanted and just enjoy my life going from place to place. But the problem was, once I came here to Argentina and I got settled into my own apartment and all that, once I got into the routine of working from Argentina and I would get more and more projects, it was impossible, I think, to pick up and leave and go to another country. Like, that just was not an option if I wanted to finish my work on time. So I just stayed here, and plus I started to make more and more friends, and I just really loved living here. And like many digital nomads or expats who come from the States especially, who settle here in Buenos Aires, it's a very easy place to live in many ways if you're from the US and you have US dollars. When I first came here, going to a restaurant was in general half of what it would cost in the States, and food was way cheaper, especially beef. I mean, I could eat steak every single day if I wanted to, which was just impossible in the US. And also, I loved the architecture. I loved much of the food, not all of it, of course. The pizza I had to get used to. But I loved the asado, medialunas, of course. Well, some medialunas. Some places are better than others. Some of the coffee also was better than others. When I first came here, of course, no good hamburgers were available, except for maybe McDonald's. But it was just, McDonald's, the same thing you'd get in the US. And it wasn't until 2015 when I noticed that more and more really good hamburger restaurants started to pop up. But yeah, my understanding of the culture here in Argentina was very shallow, I have to say. I didn't speak the language yet fluently. I didn't really understand the system. The politics I didn't even look at. I just tuned it out completely. But now that I have a DNI, my husband is Argentinian, my stepson is Argentinian, my future child or children will be Argentinian. This is where I have decided to call home. And so I have slowly started to delve deeper into the culture, into politics, the economy, everything, how everything is done here so I can understand everything better. And it is just, oh my God, so in many ways very complicated compared to the US. Also, as an artist, I still find everything I see here really, really fascinating. A part of me just really wants to pick up a canvas and start painting the Congreso because it is such a beautiful building, and then add to it this protest with the police and the marchers makes it even more interesting. At the moment, I don't have time to do that, but I would really love to do that. And the faces here have so much character, especially the elderly. Like, everyone I saw marching there had a story to tell, and I would have loved to have spoken to them. Maybe next time I will go back and speak to them more. I was a little shy this time because I really had to get home because it was running late. But I would love to speak to them and get to know who are they and why are they marching, how often do they go every week, and many, many other questions I have for them. Yeah, as an artist, this city, this country has so much that inspires me. Like, look at this scene right here with the policemen all lined up and the policemen on the other side holding the marchers within the boundaries of the sidewalk. that is just such a striking visual. I don't think it's a very flattering visual for Argentina, because from what I saw, none of those marchers were any kind of threat. Seriously, I think the show of force was ridiculous. That's just my opinion, of course. But yeah, it is just, oh my goodness. I just wonder, like, these policemen have parents and grandparents. Do they come from rich families? Like, what are they thinking and feeling while they're doing this? Like, maybe it's just a job. Maybe it's just a job for them. I have heard stories. I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that some of them are given drugs, hallucinogens, so that they're okay with possibly beating up old people with someone who looks like their father or mother or grandfather or grandmother. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised, this being Argentina. But yeah, I would really love to maybe do a portrait of a police officer and also of one of the marchers, one of the jubilados. I don't know, I'm just really fascinated by people, by their stories. I love trying to figure out their stories or guess their stories or learn about their stories if I'm able to talk to them. I mean, no doubt about it, this is a really beautiful country. And one of the things that attracted me to staying here in the first place was how wonderful the people seemed. Now that I look back on it, I don't know if they were so wonderful to me because I had US dollars, you know. They're still wonderful. People here are still wonderful, but I see a lot more of everything else that I missed when I didn't speak the language so well, when I didn't understand the society or culture or politics or economy or anything here. The deeper I get into it, the more frustrated I feel, the more I care about everyone here. I really would love to see more people doing well in this country because there is just so much promise, so much brain power and creativity here that I feel is wasted, that I feel like there's certain people with too much power in this country who see many, many people here as just extra mouths to feed. And so you can see everyone packing up, everyone is starting to go home. And as I turn my camera around, I invite you to look at the elderly woman who was walking with a cane. I want you to take a good look at her. There she is. And to me, she does not look like someone who you would find normally at a protest march, but you can see her little banner there, or flag. And I feel like she would not be there unless she felt she had no other choice. And that's probably because since Milei has taken office, the stipends that jubilados or retirees get has not risen to keep up with inflation. And so many are finding they have to choose between food or medication. I imagine some are becoming homeless. I don't know what's happening to all of them, obviously, but I don't know how they can survive with so little money per month unless they have friends and family to help them. And I believe the minimum is $4.50. It could have, I'm going to check that, and I will put the correct amount here somewhere. But that is what they are surviving on month after month. And Argentina is not a cheap country. Rent is not cheap. Food is not cheap. It's not cheap to live here. You basically have to make dollars or the equivalent in pesos if you want to be comfortable. And many are using their credit cards or dipping into savings to keep going. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. So yeah, that's the situation here. I don't want to go on too much of a rant. So in conclusion, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And also maybe comment down below. I would love to hear what you thought of this video, what your impressions of Argentina are, and so on. And also, if you would like to support this channel, I have a Buy Me a Coffee link down below. I also have links to my Redbubble shop where you can find prints, tees, magnet stickers, and so on, and my Sachi art link where you can find my original art. Yeah, thank you so much and hope to see you next time. Ciao!